Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. We want to start here briefly on the daily time frame because Bitcoin is bouncing. We're back above 90K actually at 91.5K, and Bitcoin is moving towards the 38.2 retracement level at 92,820. That is probably the first real resistance level that really matters in this bounce. Interesting, yeah, not surprising at all for those of you who've been following the analysis. The idea was that we would get a bounce, even a bounce in a wave 4, and even a bounce that should take us back to 92,820 and possibly even higher. You know, the main question that will come up next, and so far it's been irrelevant really. Yeah, it wasn't really important, or it hasn't really been important so far. But what will come up next is the question, is this move up gonna complete the entire fourth wave? And I think a wider wave 4 would look best, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We want to see how the market reacts to the 38.2 retracement. But what I mean is this going to be all of it? Or do we get a wider A, B, C structure, you know? And this here would be wave 2, and this would be wave 4, and then we could still get another low, as long as, and I want to be very clear about it, a bounce was expected. Yeah, a bounce into this resistance, nothing unexpected. You know that. But as long as the market now forms only 3 waves up, and at the moment this is a 3-wave move, I view this as a wave 4. Should we, and I've been very clear about it, I know not everybody watches every video, and I know people often skip the videos, which is a shame because all words are important in these videos. Yeah. But if we get, and I'm very open to that, if we get an increase in upside momentum within this red zone between 92,820 and 101,180, if we get an increase in upside momentum and volume, that means the resistance area isn't doing its job. What does that mean? It means that one of the more bullish scenarios is likely playing out. Remember that even a rally to all-time highs is possible. I will not rule that out. I know many people have already talked about the bear market and it started and everything. I haven't. Well, we have broken 2 key, let's say, levels, yeah, but it's not confirmed. A bear market is not confirmed, what people would call a bear market. I don't like to think in these labels anyway. I think in terms of correction and impulse and diagonal and Elliott Wave cycles and 3 waves and 5 waves, not bull market, bear market. That's like, I don't know, that puts everything into a box and you kind of restrict yourselves. But anyway, you know, it's as long as it's a 3-wave move up, this could be a corrective bounce. But if we get 5 waves up and or a break above resistance, it might be something more bullish. We talked about all these scenarios. Either way, there was really good confluence for a larger bounce from down there. I like how it develops, but again, it was nothing unusual. And it's not, unfortunately, at the moment, the bounce is nothing unusual, which means that if it was unusual for a wave 4, I would tell you. If I'd see anything right now that tells me that we are more bullish than expected for a wave 4, yeah, then I'll let you know, right? If I see 5 waves up, then the blue count can make a comeback. So I'll talk about that in future videos. Let's take a look at the smaller time frame, and at the moment we see that expected bounce higher, that move up. Earlier today, I posted in one of the member updates that was like 4 hours ago or so. Bitcoin was at 89,915. We saw a small, I don't want to call it a bull flag, maybe more like a pennant. Maybe it was a bull flag, a small bull flag. Communicated here a micro support zone, and the update was about that Bitcoin might form one more high in wave 3 before the wave 4 starts. Yeah, so one more high in this 3rd wave before we start here this wave 4. That's aged really well. Again, if you want to get these updates as well, feel free to join us on Discord via our gold membership, and you get a lot of these updates here for a lot of coins, a lot of updates. For Link, XRP, Tau, all sorts of updates here you see throughout the day, even gold and silver updates. You get them all. Check it out. We also have our Black Friday offer at the moment. Black Friday week is running at the moment, yeah. With this voucher code, I put the link in the comment section. Feel free to check it out. It gives you 20%, additional 20% off our annual memberships. Now, back to the chart. you see that this move up is unfolding right now, and we're approaching that resistance area. Now, to be fair, here the levels are slightly more accurate than on the larger time frame. Let me just double check that. Maybe something shifted, sometimes they shift accidentally sometimes, but no. Just double checking that we have the accurate levels here. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's more like $92,730. Yeah, this resistance area we're watching here. And we're approaching it now. We're approaching that 38.2 fib level with pretty much impulsive price action. Now, impulsive is fine, but the whole C wave up, that's my view, wave C of 4, yeah. Remember, A, B, C. That C wave seems to be an ending diagonal. And in the C wave, we're in the third wave. And in the third wave, we have an ABC. So look, this is basically what we're tracking here right now. And so at the moment, I think we're in the late stages of the third. My view is that probably tomorrow we might see a fourth wave, or over the weekend then might get that fourth wave pullback. Currently, support for the fourth is between $88,520 and $89,610. So that means, in other words, higher prices in a more direct fashion expected, as long as we hold above 88,250. That's like a pivot. Any break below, it's a bit too deep for a fourth wave. So yeah, we'll see what happens for now. All I can say is that circle wave C, which likely started on Monday, should ideally be a 5-wave move. At the moment, I only have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3. We should then get a 4 and a 5. And that wave 4 might start from this region. Maybe we push a little bit higher and reach even this 92,730 level. Yeah. But yeah, I've adjusted micro support, and as long as we are holding above support, there's no real change. Now, as I said, the main question that will come up is whether this move up that I'm labeling as an ABC structure is going to be really all of Roman wave 4, or is it only the A wave of a larger wave 4, and then we get a deeper B wave, right? And then we could get a C wave up. So that's basically what we are tracking here on this time frame. So yeah, that's the update on Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then check out our Black Friday week offer. As I said, you get a lot of updates. We even have long-term updates. I share when I buy and sell. Bear in mind, I'm not a trader or day trader. Don't have time for that. I'm running, MCO, and it's just too much. But we share a lot of updates here throughout the day. I still tell you when I buy and sell, but don't expect intraday trades. We have chat rooms, obviously. You can ask questions here. We have even an Elliott Wave course. You'll find it here, a risk management course, many other updates, plus live streams and much more. See you there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.